Hello, how are you doing? I'm really pissed off because I went out to go and buy some stuff that I needed for today and all the roads are closed. One of the roads was closed by the police. Someone must have gotten hurt and that makes me kind of to think about. I don't like that idea. And then the other road is closed for like a couple of days. It's the same road that was closed for 6 months last year. This year, actually. So I don't know why it's closed again, but hey ho. What are we doing today? Today, we're going to be refurbishing my Furby. Everybody, meet Bones. I have already taken his skin off of his skeleton because that was a struggle and I didn't want to record that. But yes, this is Bones. This is how he looks, kind of. I'll show you my other Furby, hang on. This is his brother's spleens. He looks traumatized. Probably because he had to sleep next to his brother like this. So yeah, you know, Bones was a bit sad because he was like, Ma'am, you know what? I don't look like your biological son. I look adopted and it's making me sad. And I was like, you know what? I'll give you a makeover to look more like me. And then you can look like my biological son. And he was like, okay, thank you. So he's asleep right now. I've given him some anesthetics so he's not in pain while his skin is off. So, let's get started. So, as you can see, I have my naked Furby, my Furby skin, I've got the nail polish remover, my cigarette is ready at hand, and I've got my glue sticks. You'll definitely need a cigarette or a can of Monster. I had both. To be honest, I think I must have given myself a bit of lung cancer just by doing this Furby because I chain smoked throughout the entire process because I was so stressed. This part may look a bit confusing, but you kind of need to do this in order to remove the eye chips. What you do is you light up the glue stick until it melts and then you just shove it on the eye chip and wait for it to kind of get stuck for you to then be able to remove it later. This part may need some trial and error. As you can see, I had to go back in and do it again on my Furby's right eye because it fell off. The glue sticks I used were a little bit too long, so I kind of just had to deal with it, to be honest. It was really difficult, I'm not gonna lie. Well, it wasn't difficult, it was just more difficult than it needed to be. So after you've successfully put your glue sticks onto the Furby's eye chips, you then put the Furby in the freezer. I don't have room in my freezer, so I had to use my fridge, and you just leave it there for a while. And then you have a cigarette and your can of Monster. In order to dye the Furby's fur, you have to make like a acrylic wash, which is basically like, say, 4 parts water, 1 part acrylic paint. I don't know, what am I, like some sort of artist? Like, what am I supposed to know? And then you use your paintbrush and just brush it in. Sadly, the black didn't take as well to the hair, but I'm still glad with how it turned out. I just wish that it kind of taken more, you know? And then you just do the same thing with the mane. I don't think the mane really takes paint that well, but it could just be my Furby and the colour of the Furby's mane, I'm not sure. But the front tuft actually turned out quite well. Then once I was finished with the painting, I went to blow dry him, but it didn't really work that well, so I just left him on the windowsill to dry itself. And now we move on to the eye chips, which you will see here in a minute. I screw up royally. I don't know how that happened. Again, it's all trial and error. I had to do this a couple of times because the right eye was really stubborn and would not come out of the eyeball. It was doing my absolute head in, but I ended up getting it off eventually. It just took a while. So usually people like to file the eyeball and, well, the eye chip just to kind of get the paint off. But I didn't have anything to buff it with, so instead I just used nail polish remover, which it does take a little bit longer, but it does the same thing. It works eventually. And this is where I started painting. I thought that I could just use regular acrylic paint, but it ended up being really streaky and it took me so many tries to try doing it. I also realised that I was painting on the wrong side of the eye chip. You're supposed to paint on the flat side, not the round side, and I'm a dumbass, but it's fine. I then did a little bit of research and found that you should actually use like really thin paint, which again I tried, but it just wouldn't work. So eventually I just used nail polish. May not be the best thing to use, but I had no patience to wait for practically water to dry. Like it just wasn't working. I couldn't figure out how to get it to work properly, and I was too impatient to bother, to be honest. And then finally onto the skeleton. I painted the, what they call the eyelids first, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'm about to do. I painted the eyelids black, same with, well, the whole skeleton, to be honest. I did eventually go over it with glittery black nail polish, just so it could kind of take better and also look pretty. It can take a few layers, especially if it is a lighter colour. And with acrylic, you kind of have to be careful because it can chip, which it did a lot. It chipped a lot, and I had to repaint it multiple times, and it got on my nerves. I was finally at what I thought was the final step, which was just painting the face thingy, like that's on the skin. Oh wait, no, that wasn't the final step. The final step is the ears, but yeah, you get what I mean. I started painting this bit and it cracked like on its own. Like I didn't even touch it and it just started cracking, which really annoyed me. So I had to repaint this multiple times, just like everything else. With the ears, you basically just do the exact same thing that you did with the mane and the tuft at the front. You just go in with your paintbrush, not your paintbrush, fuck, your toothbrush. You go in with your toothbrush and you just you smother it on. You do want to kind of like dab the toothbrush on something just to kind of get rid of the little extra bits that don't need to be on the toothbrush. You can see that I didn't do that very much, and when it came to drying the ears, the paint actually kind of rubbed off, so then I had to go back and repaint it again. But it turned out fine afterwards. You may need to do a couple coats, which is fine. Just make sure that you're patient, which I am not. I am not the most patient person in the world. I really shouldn't be doing this with my spare time. This is where my dread started. I tried to give Bones a nice little red eyeliner thing on his eyeball and it just wouldn't work. It took so many layers, so many layers, and it still didn't even turn out that well. So I'm kind of upset about it, but it's acrylic on plastic, like what do you expect? So yeah, this just pissed me off. Like, again, I'm not the most patient person in the world. And as I was waiting for that to dry, I decided that I was going to listen to a Bo Burnham song and dance to it while having a cigarette, which is the thing that I do with most of my day, to be honest. And now I get to the fun part, which this was like a really last minute decision. I wanted to paint the white bits of the eye black to make him look more demonic, because I'm pretty sure he is a demon Furby. And these bits chipped a lot. They got on my nerves, just like everything else got on my nerves. But I still think it looks good. Like, even though it's chipped, even though it looks like shit, it looks good. It's like a good shit, you know? Okay, so here I am going to be putting in the eye chips. I did redesign the eye chips. Like, there was so much shit that went on. Like, I tried to put varnish on the eye chips and then the white paint on it smudged and then I had to redo it and it was just a terrible experience. But this is where you put in the eye chips. You basically just slot them in. You don't need glue or anything, and I was just carefully doing it. Something annoying that did happen though was when I was trying to like redo the eyes, the eyelashes fell out. So I had to go to Tesco and buy some fake human eyelashes and like put them in, which that was a nightmare. But this is basically all of the footage that I have of me decorating my Furby, and I will show you the reveal now. Hello! Okay, so it is the next day. I thought that I would be done with this by yesterday early afternoon, but no, it's taken me until like 5 minutes ago to finish this shit. This video has probably been a super mess, like a massive super mess, and a lot of the stuff that I've done I didn't even record, such as the constant needing to repaint him because when I put varnish on him it fucking chipped. I went over his eyeballs with nail polish because the paint wouldn't take, and his eyelashes are frickin' fucked because like I couldn't get the face to whatever the fuck. I couldn't get it to like not be together is what I'm trying to say. So I couldn't get the eyelashes to stick properly without sticking to the eyeball. So his eyes probably won't ever close again. However, he's done. My son is finished. Are you ready to see him? Ah! He's so cool! He came out not as good as I hoped, but about as good as I expected. So he's got shiny beak, he's got a shiny shiny eyes, look at that, wow. Someone outside my window. His eyelashes are still a little bit sticky, but it's okay. He has nicer eyelashes than I do. I can't put eyelashes, like false eyelashes on myself, let alone a fucking Furby. But I tried. So yes, his mane did not come out as black as I hoped, but you know what, it's fine. This is what my hair looked like when I tried to dye it black, but I missed a bunch of red bits. He's got his earrings in, his pentagram earrings in, and he's just really cool. I went with the white on top of his beak as well, just to make it stand out more. I'm very happy with him, and I'm gonna take him to my grandmother's with me when I go to pick up my mum. He is my lovely demon child. Yes, there is a bit of white under his eye where it should be black, but I just couldn't get the black to fucking stay on, so yeah, that was nice. Eyelash is coming out. Stay in, please. Realistically, when putting eyelashes in a Furby's eyelid, it's probably best to use super glue and also best to take the eyes out first. But I don't have super glue and I could not for the life of me take the rod out of the faceplate, so this is what I've got. This is my son and his final transformation. I'm like really happy with him. Like, look at this dude. Look how cool he is. Come on. Don't tell me he's not cool. He's cool. You're cool. I also painted his tongue pink because I thought it was cute. That's my Furby. My first time decorating, refurbishing a Furby. Refurbishing a Furby. And I'm happy with him. My next child I'm going to do, of course, is Spleens. I'm not going to do too much to him. I like his fur, I like his mane, so I think what I'm just going to do is give him some new eyeballs and paint his beak pink or something, you know. I think that's all I'm going to do. I gave him a little necklace just so he didn't feel left out because he's not going into surgery just yet. I do have my eyes on another Furby, which I really want it. It's a pastel coloured Furby and I want it so bad. But I shouldn't be spending the money that I don't have on fucking Furbies. God, I love him so much. So yes, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe subscribe. I don't really post consistent content. If that's what you like, then I recommend subscribing. My Instagram is in the description, so is my Twitter, and so is my colouring book that I worked very hard on. You can buy that if you want to. Oh wait, hang on. So is my colouring book that I worked hard on. You can buy that if you want to. Oh my god, I'm tired, can you tell? My next colouring book is definitely gonna have a lot of Furbies in it. Just so you know. I hope you enjoyed the video, and me and Bones will see you in the next one. Bye! Oh my god, I hate myself.